Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And after I previously did Mount Rushmores for each MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL team for best players in franchise history, with MLB currently in the offseason again, I have moved on to do the Mount Rushmore by position. Today, we're going to take a look at designated hitters. So in these Mount Rushmore by positions, I attempt to name the four best players at each position in MLB history. As a subjective list, let me know in the comments who you would include. In order to be eligible for designated hitter, I included players who played designated hitter more than any other position. So a guy like Jim Thome, I had an honorable mentions at first base. And a guy like Chili Davis, who wouldn't make my Mount Rushmore, but would have made my honorable mentions, actually played more games in the outfield than designated hitter. So let's get into it. I named the players in alphabetical order by last name. They are not ranked. Starting with one of the better hitters of the 1990s, that's Edgar Martinez, inducted into Hall of Fame in 2019. Martinez played parts of 18 seasons, 2,055 games, batted 312, 418 on base percentage, 933 OPS, 147 OPS plus, hit 309 homers, drove in 1,261 runs, and had 1,219 runs scored, as well as 2,247 hits. Again, one of the game's best hitters. Martinez led the AL with a 343 batting average in 1992 and a 356 batting average in 1995. Great at drawing walks, had 4 seasons of triple-digit walk totals, led the league in on-base percentage 3 times, and led the league with a 1,107 OPS in 1995. That season, he had his best MVP finish of third, also had MVP finishes of 6th and 12th in his career. Martinez was named to 7 All-Star teams and was a 5-time Silver Slugger, playing his whole career with the Mariners. Twice led the league in doubles, led the league with 121 runs scored in 1995, one of 5 seasons he had at least 100 runs, led the AL with 145 RBIs in 2000, one of 6 seasons in which he had over 100 RBIs, a perennial over 300 hitter for most of his career. Edgar Martinez, the first member of the designated hitter Mount Rushmore. Next, let's go with Paul Molitor, who was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2004. Molitor played parts of 21 seasons, batting 306 in 2,683 games, 817 OPS, 122 OPS plus, 234 homers, 1,307 RBIs, 1,782 runs scored, 3,319 hits, 605 doubles, and 504 stolen bases. Molitor was a World Series MVP, that coming in his lone season with the Blue Jays in 1993. In that World Series, he had 458 with 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. Molitor 3 times led the AL in runs scored, 3 times in hits, once in doubles, once in triples. Was a great base stealer as well. Had 8 seasons, with at least 30 stolen bases in his career. More often than not, batted over 300. In 1987, had an OPS of 1,003. In 1993, again his lone season with the Blue Jays, finished as the runner-up for AL MVP. He also had MVP finishes of 5th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th in his career. Molitor won 4 Silver Sluggers, was named to 7 All-Star teams. Paul Molitor, the second member of the designated hitter Mount Rushmore. Next, you may know him simply as Big Papi, that being David Ortiz, inducted into Hall of Fame this year. Ortiz played parts of 20 seasons, 2,408 games, batting 286 with a 931 OPS, 141 OPS plus, slugged 541 homers, drove in 1,768 runs, scored 1,419, 2,472 hits, and 632 doubles in his career. From a 5 year stretch from 2003 to 2007, Ortiz had MVP finishes of 5th, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, also finishing 10th in 2013 and 6th in his final season in 2016. That final season, he led the AL with a 1,021 OPS, 127 RBIs, and 48 home runs. All in all, Ortiz had 10 seasons in which he had at least 100 RBIs, 3 times leading the league his last season, and 2005 and 2006, back-to-back years. Big Papi had led the league with 54 homers in 2006, had 41 in 2004, 47 in 2005, and had an additional 7 seasons of at least 30 home runs. He was historic when it comes to the postseason play. He won 3 World Series, won an ALCS MVP in 2004, and the World Series MVP in 2013, smacking 17 homers in his postseason career in 304 at-bats with a 947 OPS in his postseason career. David Ortiz, the 3rd member of the designated hitter Mount Rushmore. And let's end with another guy with a famous nickname, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. Played parts of 19 seasons, inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2014. In 2,322 games, Thomas batted .301 with a 974 OPS, 156 OPS plus, 521 homers, 1,704 RBIs, 1,494 runs scored, 2,468 hits. The Big Hurt won back-to-back MVPs in the American League in 1993 and 1994. Also had MVP finishes of 2nd once, 3rd twice, 4th once, and 8th 3 times in his career. The 3 times Silver Slugger winner had a total of 9 seasons with at least 30 homers and a total of 5 with at least 40. He had a total of 10 seasons of 100 RBIs, including, he actually had 11 seasons with 100 RBIs, including 8 in a row from 1991 to 1998. In each of those 91 and 98, he also scored at least 100 runs, including leading the league with 106 in 1994. Great eye at the plate, led the league in walks and on base percentage 4 times, and also led the league in OPS 4 times in his career. The Big Hurt, again, was an outstanding offensive player, definitely one of the game's most feared hitters during the 1990s. He is the 4th member of the designated hitter Mount Rushmore. So again, in alphabetical order by last name, we have Edgar Martinez, Paul Molitor, David Ortiz, and Frank Thomas. Some honorable mentions include Don Baylor, Harold Baines, Travis Hafner, Brian Downing, Mike Sweeney, Hal McRae, Shohei Ohtani. Yes, Shohei Ohtani already should be an honorable mention, and in a few years' time would likely be a member of this Mount Rushmore if he continues the way he's playing. And Nelson Cruz. So there you have it, the designated hitter Mount Rushmore. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. And with that, we are done with all the offensive positions. Let me say that there are 2 players I could think of that I was not really able to include at any position, that being Stan the Man Musial and Pete Rose. Stan Musial actually played first base more often than any position, but played in the outfield well more than he played in first base. And Pete Rose just played all over the field, that I couldn't find a way to single them out to one position. So if you've watched all these, don't think I forgot about them. I did not, but I think I will do both right-handed and left-handed starting pitchers, so probably right-handed starting pitchers tomorrow, then do closers, and maybe end it off with managers, and then the Mount Rushmore series will be over for this off-season, but I've definitely been having a lot of fun doing them. Hope you've enjoyed them as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.